Hello guys, we're doing a live stream here while I'm working, so I'm going to talk as much as I can. Otherwise, just kind of follow me along. So, anyways, here, Clint is the director, by the way. I'm the DP.
I'll say I'll get a second camera. Yeah, we'll shoot the close, and then we can get the medium.
Okay.
Because based on the framing, I think I can hide there, and then we can shoot another one.
If the framing's going to work for you, then yeah, stone sticks, right?
Yeah.
Is that light on?
Yep.
The other one is on? Okay, and this one's off?
On.
It's on.
Can we shut that on?
Maybe, yeah, just for safety.
You're not using my SSD, right?
Looks like, what's that?
You're not using my SSD? My
I'm
SSD?
not, no.
You need the battery? Do you need the battery?
Yes, I don't.
Because I
Filling.
need
Okay. But the battery's on with that.
yeah, I know, I'll have to charge it.
Actually, no, I am using the battery.
Yeah?
But well, unless you don't need the wireless. You don't need the wireless?
No, for now, no.
Okay.
It'll be okay.
It makes it more interesting to me. Like that's what I pictured.
I'm going to plug mine in anyway.
So, adjusting the exposure, because it's using false color. It's a little bit off. We're trying to match all the shots. That's where false color comes in really handy, because otherwise just looking like this, you can't see like really this tiny difference. But like look at this, if I adjust it. We have very professional actors over there. And here, I'm gonna...
I'm just,
You can see when I'm making these tiny adjustments, false color really shows you how it's like... Oh, it has to go through.
Yes, 2 hours.
So this looks like it's matching our exposure with our previous shot.
Can you help me take this in?
And I think otherwise this is good. So that light hasn't changed the position now, right?
No, position hasn't changed.
Okay.
so much pressure now for just the highlights too. Yeah, I guess I'll try that.
You know, let me check something with the light. You need to go through?
No. Don't worry, everyone's watching me. It's okay.
Oh, I know. They're watching you. They're going to be watching you.
Oh my god!
So Tom, what do you think on
What lens you thinking?
50?
Can you like rotate your face a little bit more towards the window? Now back towards her. See, like when you're in this position, it looks like the best on you. So if you want to look like amazing.
I would love to look amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stare at it.
No, what I'm just saying is that when you turn your face too much towards the camera, it starts the
like
weird
this,
shadows
okay.
and stuff. So I can see like there, I would say that's the most you want to tilt your head to the
Okay,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me show this. I might have to get the center though, because I think in the back.
Oh,
So unless I get really close. Is that too close?
what lens do you want? You think?
Still 50, right? Probably.
Well, because I'm using the 50 now. And you get the
85?
85. And this way you don't say I missed that painting and I mean the hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see a hole.
Tom, the false color shows the exposure, right?
Yeah, that's for the exposure.
Yeah.
So like kind of the way I do it is I'll set up my first shot, which is usually a white shot. And once we have the white shot working,
In my
then
bag
I can
is,
basically we'll get the white shot, get the exposure
bring
looking
that
good,
the
and
camera, it's a
then
big charger, bring that.
Okay.
here
It's a
I'm gonna
big long
play it back.
thing. You won't
Yeah,
miss it.
yeah.
So this is a previous take of the other angle, like because I have a semi close up. This is like this close shot that we got. But the first shot that we got was this is the first shot. So as you can see, this is the first shot, the white shot. And to match the exposure, I use false color because it shows me exactly in very distinctive colors. I see like on the face exposure what I have, the window here, like so, and now I can match this by basically going, you know, now I'm basically gonna go live. So switching to camera. And as you can see
Yeah,
here,
do you find it?
we're live. And just by looking at it, it would still be difficult to tell. But
Yeah. It's a big long wire. It's only one thing that.
and over there, as you can see, I can tell now with my exposure is the same by looking at the values. So I know her face, like the darker side of her face, was at 22 false color, and then 43
It's in that bag.
was where the kind of highlights are heading, right? And the
The
window
wire.
was here at 100.
Yeah,
So
that thing, yeah.
if I adjust, see the exposure now, I'm adjusting the aperture, I can tell. And by just look, by adjusting it a tiny bit of the aperture, you can see now this is way too bright. It's way too bright, but if you look at it in the monitor, you can't really tell. It's like, oh, you can't tell that it's one step off, right?
Right, yeah.
But by turning on full scale, I can tell right away, okay, it's, you know, there, one step off, so I'm gonna close it a little bit, like somewhere there. And right now we are at T2.8, and that should work. So yeah, this shot is set up, so we're just waiting for the other camera to set up. We're doing a two camera kind of a take now. Just because this lighting, normally we wouldn't be able to do it, but when the lighting is very simple like it is today, then you can do it. So we have, I'm kind of going for like this sort of House of Cards look, which is very justified lighting. So we're trying to make it look like everything's lit by that window, right? But it's actually very dark and overcast today, so it's not providing much light. So what I did is I have this big light. This is actually the new 300D from Aperture. Really cool light.
What are the settings? What are the settings? What aperture?
I am at 24 frames per second shutter. I'm at 270, so that's because I'm using the ND, right, with the 50. If you want to use it, are you going to be stepping down on ND? You want to get shot with the field or no?
Yeah, we can show that field, but
So then I'm at T2.8, shutter 270, and it's, I can, you know, usually it's 180-degree shutter, but I'm going 270 because the shots there's almost no movement, so you're not going to see much of a difference.
280 on an inch. What? Shutter is what?
270.
270?
ISO 800 and white balance is 4600 Kelvin, tint at 10.
And I'm like, you know, affect you or something, and I'm like, you like geopet, or what do they call it? Yeah, there's two. I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. Like, is there love supposed to grow like the pet?
So, you want to check the exposure? It might be.
Not because of the gifts, which is like a lot of factors, but I'm like, that was a weird gift. Yeah, I don't know what to.
Yeah, I mean, because this one is so drastic that as long as you just get good exposure on her, you can bring it down. As long as you're not, you know, blowing everything out, right? You're not blowing out any highlights, and that's okay.
Oh my
Now,
gosh.
are you able to frame it out without the hole?
It's so out of focus, I didn't realize the whole.
Oh yeah, okay. I mean, if it looks good while it's out of focus, then I guess you can keep it there. So yeah, so we have this. This is literally kind of acting as a fill, and that's why, you know, I didn't really need that 300D, but I'm testing it out basically. So because as you can see, it's actually at all the way at the minimum setting at 10%. Because when you blast this light, even like 50%, it's so bright in here that it's like burning your eyes.
It doesn't get hot though. It doesn't get hot.
It doesn't get hot, no.
Okay.
And then we have two little aperture. What are these ones?
Mini 20s.
Mini 20s. They're hidden behind the plant. For the white shot, we had both of them. And they're trying to justify, basically create this sort of a lighter edge on the actors, kind of make it look like they're getting lit by the window. Because, like I said, no, the window is not actually providing much light. So, and also we don't want to like just have this one flat light and one flat light from the window, because then it's just kind of, you're getting that very flat kind of porno lighting pretty much. There's no definition, nothing. You're just like seeing everything. It's very boring. So.
Okay, and then how back to you?
So that's why, you know, this kind of just gives a bit more roundness to it, but it still looks very natural.
So what's the House of Cards look like? How would you describe it?
It's very minimalistic in a way, lighting, even though it actually is lit. It's very justified, meaning like everything looks like it's lit from an actual window, or if there's a lamp in the room, it looks like the lamp is lit. Like it's all practical, even though it's lit, but it's going for that. It's not, I wouldn't say it's very realistic look, but it's because it's not that kind of documentary, but it's very clean, very even. But you're getting just enough definition and little highlights here and there, but you're not gonna see any like kind of like sharp edge light like you see in a lot of TV lighting. You're also not gonna get like a lot of crazy camera moves. House of Cards is all about like static kind of locked off shots. If there is a, by the way, the whole, I think all the seasons up until now, there's not even been even one shot done on a Steadicam or a gimbal. All of it is on sticks, or they might have a dolly. And here we're using a sort of a dolly. It's called Camera Goat. It's like this sort of a bigger, heavy-duty slider. Right?
Yeah.
So anyways, we're gonna talk later.
So on this shot we are using two Ursa Mini Pros. No, actually, is it Pro? It's just the regular, right? Ursa Mini.
4.6K.
4.6K.
Both two of them. So your gift plan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And
Central slate?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, hold on. Sound.
Sound speed.
Okay, camera rolling.
Zoom 8.
Camera is rolling.
Say it
Zoom
again.
8?
Yeah. Zoom 8. All right. And slate.
Scene 15, take 1.
All right. And action.
So I say to her, what are you looking at? And she doesn't say a word. So I look right at her and I say, do you have some kind of problem? And you know what she says to me? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No. She's lucky I didn't throw my coffee right in her face.
And why didn't you?
Excuse me?
Why didn't you throw your coffee in her face?
I'm not crazy.
Are you practicing your breathing?
Yeah.
And your countbacks?
No. I don't see the point.
Counting backwards from 10 to 1 is a device that allows you to disconnect from your triggers. I'm here to give you the tools. It's up to you to use them. How are things with Tom?
What about Tom?
When you and your husband first started coming here, there were serious issues that needed to be addressed. Self-worth, trust, infidelity.
Tom's infidelity.
Okay. Tom's infidelity. Let's start with self-worth. How do you feel about yourself?
Well, when your husband has an affair with a swimsuit model and a CrossFit trainer, you tend to have a few issues with that.
Why does her being a model or a fitness trainer...
CrossFit trainer.
CrossFit trainer. Make such a difference to you? How do they affect...
We are not going to talk about this today.
You have to open up to me, Amy. Every relationship is built on a foundation of trust, including ours as doctor-patient. Without it, fear rules. You said that you wanted to rebuild your trust with Tom. And in order to do that, you must separate past trust issues from future fears. Can you do that?
Yes.
Cut.
Cutting.
Do another one. And you do
Can I see that framing action?
for this.
Yeah.
You need to. It's too close. You need to.
Yeah, it's too close.
I just really wanted my nose to be emphasized. So.
Yeah, see, that's the framing game there.
I know, like I'm worried that I'm gonna cut well with the
Yeah,
lighting.
so
It's
think
like
like-
so low and you don't have any reference to the other side.
So I'm saying, should I switch to 50?
What if you go? Well, no. What if you just go more from this angle, so you actually get a bit of that plant and.
But then, wanna be in your shot then?
Well, I'm pretty sure we can stage it around it.
Yep.
You want to get the actual sticks? We can go higher.
Kevin, I think in those shots, yeah, it's the close-up of the patient, so... But we'll get the close-up of the doctor, too.
You see, like even like this. Right there.
For sure, you know, we were going in this scene, we're going to get the close-up of the
Yeah.
of both
Get like
actors.
that. Is it?
I have an idea.
Vlad, is this camera in the shot there? That's here.
I'll do it, yeah.
No?
No, it would be okay. Oh, so it's a little bit wider. Yeah? Now, do you want to leave that with the hole?
Move front.
Trying to find space for two cameras.
Move back.
I mean, if you keep it out of focus like this, are you going to be panning or no?
This isn't the first shot for the scene. We've been rolling since the morning, so now.
'Cause when she was
So we
moving
got
in
wider
also, like,
shots,
that didn't work
establishing
with the
shots.
angle that you had, right?
No, but I won't be using that. I'll be using for the end, which is not.
Tom is using the Xeon lens, T1.550 millimeters.
Moving.
Cinema lens. If you can see, if the
I
phone.
mean, if you're okay just seeing it, you know, for that moment where she
It's a
moves
nice
and then
lens.
you cut around
Yeah,
it.
I can also fix it later, but I won't be using that shot though when she moves.
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
using one
Yeah,
that she
it's
doesn't
not a
move.
big room. I
Yeah,
guess
we'll
it's a
move
long
back.
room, yeah, but not very wide.
You know what I mean? Because like by having this in there, you kind of
Move front, sorry.
connects it to the other shot.
So not as much.
Do you want less?
Yeah,
Like,
we said less for this one, right?
okay, sorry, I thought that was, but that's better?
Yeah, that looks
This
better.
is okay?
Yeah, somewhere there. I think so. That works for me.
Do you want to change it?
Yeah, I'm not good at that. We're gonna take.
Yeah, thanks.
You know what I mean, right? Because at least you're seeing this,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
getting
yeah.
a sense that okay, we're in the same setting.
Back of all trades, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Kevin, that Tom is not using the auto white balance. Yeah, he sets the color balance, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's
Actually, I would love to have my wedding with Morocco. Where did you
Yeah, I would love to do more of this where we stream right from the set. So we'll see. But yeah, it's cool when you guys, when we can share, be live and share these kinds of experiences with you guys, and love when we get questions from you guys too. So
it also has, you can use their straps.
this is a simple setup, just me holding the camera, the phone, but maybe we can do something more advanced
It's all about looking
in the future.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. So you want to roll?
Yeah, let's go.
Sorry, functionality? It's not bad.
So, can you move this in a bit more? Because you have space to move in. I can move this table in a bit more.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because then I can frame it out.
Can you help me with that?
Yeah.
Now, so how did you decide on what color balance, like how to balance the?
I just measured the average light. So go over there.
Yeah.
And don't move it past the system.
Alright,
So yeah, I just did a
dead in 6 seconds.
color balance. I mean a color meter using the Lumo light. There's a little accessory for the iPhone.
Oh, okay. So maybe we can show later.
That'll be my color top.
Yeah,
So like for iPhone, for
literally that's what it
is it available on Android or not?
It's far back,
Right now, as far as I know, it's on Lumo Power.
Get in front?
It's pretty cool. It's a light meter, and you just put it to your lightning
Yeah.
connector,
Okay, hold on.
and you turn on your iPhone.
Tom got an iPhone just for that. It's an older iPhone.
And then eyes here.
You have a cine video and flash photography, everything, but you have also color temperature meter, so you can literally measure the color temperature here.
Oh, cool.
And I just looked at what's the average, because it obviously will change even one scene. And once I have the average, I kind of just set it to that, and I know the rest you can color grade it.
Okay. And then lean forward.
And lean back, and lean forward.
Lean back. Lean back.
It's like that song, yeah.
Yeah. Lean forward. Lean forward.
How did it go? And lean back.
That's the one. Yeah. Okay. I'm good. I'm good to go.
You want to double check this? I think it's changed slightly, but I still like it.
Oh, can you have space to come out a bit more? Might as well slide this out.
There, okay.
No, I think it was a bit more. Maybe more. Something like that, right?
Yeah, there. I think that works now. Let me just double check the focus.
I think we are filming the whole short film at this house, but not in this room. But because people are worried that we are like sardines in this space.
It's gonna be okay. That's how you get to know people.
I've learned a little too much about people. Okay, Matt.
I mean, I shot the vampire film. We shot like 80% of that film in like a tiny little basement. It was a feature film for like 20 days. So it was a cast of 7 and small crew, but it was like 15 people in there.
Lean forward. No, not too much. Remember, right?
Oh, sorry, okay. I think I'm doing less.
Alright, so I'm good.
And then back.
Camera. Let me check that one. Oh, you're not using a custom one?
No, I guess I have the 709 brush. I didn't put it in this. You deleted, right? Yeah.
What do you mean? No, I
This is
didn't.
this? Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
This is not university. This is Venus, but it's not filmed.
Which one do you choose?
I think it's the first one, yeah, because the other one didn't work.
Until you start talking with the other talent that you can go hook up later, then you're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah,
it's
no, that's
brighter,
true.
But you're not
I
blowing
mean,
out, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you have to, either sacrifice the shallow depth of field or start stacking NDs. And
Yeah.
now, are you going to show the window? Because if that's the case,
A
then
little bit.
then maybe you do want to
Hold on.
put an ND in there.
No, if they
No,
had
this
sex,
one you
that would be fair.
cut that off slightly there.
Or would it be?
I mean, they were kind of making
It's very
to
low.
tease each other,
Oh,
but
alright, yep.
like it was very.
And you're at what,
sexualized,
4600 Kelvin?
How old was he, like 10?
Yeah,
No,
it's just because it's
no, they were like
like if you
20,
go
mid,
one step
mid to late
down.
20s, both of them.
Yeah.
Nothing
That's
wrong
what
with that age,
matches.
it's a great year. 28.
So either do this,
Your,
which is going to be easier for you for focus.
I think this character is
I think it still looks nice, actually.
baby.
We just safer because otherwise, like I said, we're getting into stacking NDs and
Yeah.
setting up the matte packs and everything.
No,
We'll be behind
this is
schedule.
fine and we're good then, yeah.
Yeah.
Couple years back,
You
I
mind
was like
tilting a
doing-
little bit lower though, like not
That's
cutting out the
working,
head
I'm
as much?
I guess this is the last year.
You're shooting the full, like 16 by 9. You're just framing right now for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you still can correct it, but
You have one of those
just
faces
for,
though. Can
like
maybe
for
go.
me, it looks
You know, I
better.
like to
Where
think
you
so.
going?
I have the maturity level of 5 years old, so I always think of
Oh,
everything
okay,
about
yeah.
it.
4.6 here.
But on
Yeah,
screen,
No,
apparently I have to go
Yeah,
up a
sure.
light.
This one.
Oh, I just now.
Which is ironic because I'm not
42
really a
ProRes,
good wife.
okay.
But
Yeah.
I know what was her name?
Now
Alicia
you
Flora.
use,
It was a joke for the good wife. I don't know her real name.
Actually, so we have a wireless video system set up today.
Yeah, this is a beast. The new one, the 600.
I mean, I am a little psychotic, but yeah.
You see the director's
Like a pretty
monitor?
There's a line.
Yeah.
It's kind of heavy though because you can pre-mount and everything. And this thing is guaranteed to give you cancer. At least it looks like it.
Oh shit.
'Cause this thing is like it sends it out into space. We were joking with Clint that he could be literally like across town getting a coffee somewhere. And,
Tim Hortons here, and
Could be,
yeah.
could be
I'm
directing
gonna
it
take
from-
lunch. You guys keep working while I eat.
Yeah. Clint's gonna be like, yeah, that looks good, guys. All right.
Oh, that's.
I think the range is 600 meters, so I'm not sure how many yards is that, but more than 600 yards.
No, like yeah, I've been using it for a week now since I got it, and no problems. Not even once it cut out. I've gone through walls and everything, so
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that there's gonna be there's a limit to every system, but it's pretty good. You good there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, okay.
So I said.
Focus is good. Yeah, you check.
Yeah.
All right, ready to roll.
Oh, shit.
What happened?
Nothing, press it on. Okay, ready?
Oh yes.
Let me know what you
You
roll.
changed this to 3 or?
2.
It was 2. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you know what you're
Probably not.
doing. Yeah. All right. Whatever.
Alright, sound?
Sound speed?
Slightly higher, just a bit for me. Okay, yeah. Camera rolling and
Camera A rolling.
okay.
Zoom 9?
And slate.
Sorry, scene 15, take 2.
Yeah, I got frame.
Alright, and action.
So I say to her, "What are you looking at?" And she doesn't say a word. So I look right back at her and I say, "Do you have some kind of problem?" And you know what she says to me? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, she's lucky I didn't throw my coffee right in her face.
And why didn't you?
Excuse me?
Why didn't you throw your coffee in her face?
Well, I'm not crazy.
Are you practicing your breathing?
Yeah.
And your countbacks?
No. I don't see the point.
Counting backwards from 10 to 1 is a device that allows you to disconnect from your triggers. I'm here to give you the tools. It's up to you to use them. How are things with Tom?
What about Tom?
When you and your husband first started coming here, there were serious issues that needed to be addressed. Self-worth, trust, infidelity.
Tom's infidelity.
Okay. Tom's infidelity. Let's start with self-worth. How do you feel about yourself?
Well, when your husband has an affair with a swimsuit model and a CrossFit trainer, you tend to have a few issues with that.
Why does her being a model or a fitness trainer...
CrossFit trainer.
CrossFit trainer make such a difference to you? How do they affect...
Look, we are not going to talk about this today.
You have to open up to me, Annie. Every relationship is built on a foundation of trust, including ours as doctor-patient. Without it, fear rules. You wanted to rebuild your trust with Tom. And in order to do that, you must separate past trust issues from future fears. Can you do that?
Yes.
Cut.
Cutting?
Okay, let's move on to... Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Can
Still
we
have
do
the fans,
actually one
but
more retake? Because this is using this for close-up too, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna just adjust actually that rim light on her.
Yeah.
Because now I realize we're not seeing even that plant. So I can move it closer and just...
Oh, okay.
Because there were some moments where she like moves her face a little bit like it didn't look the best.
He's got my back. Sorry, I'm a face mover.
It happens.
Sorry.
So can you look at her now?
Oh, sorry, yes. I'm like the only female around me.
So can you go through a few of the lines?
So I say to her, what are you looking at? And she doesn't say a word, so I look right back at her and I say, you have a problem? And you know what she says to me? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. She's lucky I didn't throw my coffee right in her face.
And why didn't she?
Excuse me?
Why didn't you throw your coffee in her face?
Well, I'm not crazy.
Are you practicing your breathing?
Yeah.
And your count backs?
Yeah.
No. That's
Okay, that's good. Thank you guys. Yeah, it's just a little bit safer. You wanna do that?
Yeah.
Like in the other take, most of it was good too. There was just a few moments where like, you're gonna get that shadow was like
Yeah,
really
I see,
noticeable. Whereas now it's
interference.
and is that are those lights still a problem for the sound or no?
As long as they don't ramp up while we're recording, it's easy enough to remove. But
Were they okay now?
yeah, they've stayed pretty constant
Oh,
for
okay.
the last
So,
take. So
at least we got one clean take.
you can hear them a little bit, but they're staying
They're
constant.
staying constant. Okay.
Yeah.
I think now it's what, take 3? Paula, I should change it.
Yeah, the problem we're having is with the lights actually. With this one, the 300D has it's a massive height, it does get hot, and has a massive, ballast. But it's the fan, it's there, but it's not like it creates some noise, but it's constant.
Of course.
These little lights, the minis, they actually have a fan that
Might
it's
change
audible,
the
so you gotta be careful, like over there because it's close to the actors, you can hear it. But the worst thing is it changes speed. So, so at least if it was constant, it would just create the same kind of noise throughout the whole thing. But because it changes speed, so it gets louder and it gets quieter, or even just the frequency of the sound changes, and that can create problems later in sound mixing. So that's the issue we had. So something to keep be aware of. Those are again, what is it? The aperture
Mini 20s.
Mini 20s. Cool lights, but just that's not the cool thing.
I'm gonna send an email.
They're supposed to be though noiseless, right?
Is it supposed to be? Yeah.
Supposed to be. I mean, like even these ones, they put the sign fans and all that stuff. There's room for the sign fans. So
maybe it's
this one is kind of strange.
maybe.
Yeah.
This is a departure from the regular aperture products because this is the only one in the entire lineup that does not do remote control.
Oh, so maybe,
Every
okay.
single other one has the remote
Yeah,
control
has it.
functionality, right? So
Yeah, something to be aware of. And definitely when you're doing sound, it's an issue.
Yeah.
If you're just using them for music videos or whatever.
Can you talk to me?
Hey, how's it going?
I fixed everything.
What? A simple battery? Look at that. Life lessons.
So this is the ballast for the, was it 300D
Yeah.
aperture? It's
That
kind of
and-
loud, but I guess you're saying it's the same.
Yeah, and then
humming,
it still
right?
has, look at this control units. You can mount V-mounts on it, 2 of them. And then you can control the power, and it has an antenna, and it comes with a remote like all, most of their lights.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
So this is the regular dome. Now there's a smaller one, right? The mini dome, right?
Yeah, which we used a few days ago on a music video.
Which is also nice, right?
Very nice. Yeah, it has a grid that attaches to it. It's smaller, so you can squeeze it into more places. So kind of like a beauty dish. That's what it reminds me of. Is that light? That's kind of how I used it in this music video. When I used it on last. It's like a beauty dish. So if you have the kind of a Hollywood started lighting, where you're putting it right in front of your actor or actress's face, a little bit higher, then it's good.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Alright, and
So I'm ready.
Sound speed?
Roll camera.
Camera A rolling.
Zoom 10.
Slightly higher. Yeah, that's good. And slate.
Scene 15, take 3.
Well, not quite in there. Okay, and
Was that okay? This.
no, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Action.
So I say to her, what are you looking at? And she doesn't say a word. So I look right back at her and I say, do you have some kind of problem? And you know what she says to me? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, she's lucky I didn't throw my coffee right in her face.
And why didn't you?
Excuse me?
Why didn't you throw your coffee in her face?
I'm not crazy.
Are you practicing your breathing
Yeah.
and your countbacks?
No. I don't think it helps.
Counting backwards from 10 to 1 is a device that allows you to separate from your triggers. I can provide the tools, but it's up to you to use them. How are things with Tom?
What about Tom?
When you and your husband first started coming here, there were serious issues that needed to be addressed. Self-worth, trust, infidelity.
Tom's infidelity.
Okay. Tom's infidelity. Let's start with self-worth. How do you feel about yourself?
Well, when your husband has an affair with a swimsuit model and a CrossFit trainer, you tend to have a few issues with that.
Why does her being a model or a fitness trainer,
CrossFit trainer.
CrossFit trainer, make such a difference to you? How do they?
We are not going to talk about this today.
You have to open up to me, Annie. Every relationship is built on a foundation of trust, including ours as doctor-patient. Without it, fear rules. You wanted to rebuild your relationship with Tom. And in order to do that, you must separate past trust issues from future fears. Can you do that?
Yes.
Cut.
Cutting.
Okay, I need to get one close, far behind front.
Oh, yeah.
Head on.
All right. You want the sticks for that?
I'm gonna just throw around this and see. The reason I need to sit where you
Oh, you're going for like a real close up.
Yeah,
Up the nostrils there.
I need to switch
Yeah.
the lens.
It's okay, I've been like training, going to the gym to train my nose.
So the audio is being recorded just to the external recorder, right? We're not
Yeah.
sending it to the
Yeah.
camera.
Oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Using the Zoom H6. Yeah, no compressor, stance power, driving NTG2, I believe, with the Rode Lav Filmmaker kit and a Sennheiser AVX.
Oh, so they're left also?
Yeah, they're also Lav.
Oh,
Thank you.
See, it's so good when you have like sound department, you don't have to worry about doing
Department.
sound and everything.
Yeah, one person, but it's a department.
Yeah, well, it is, yeah. Even in a small film, it's good to have the roles kind of separated, because this way, the person operating the camera is just worrying about making sure this looks good, this shot looks good, you know?
Yeah.
Whoever's doing the sound is making sure that's looking good.
My man is 60 at 50.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not using the A camera right now? Or do you
No.
want me to do the steak just in case?
No, it's just the ending. I'm
Oh,
doing
yeah?
the ending
Okay.
line, just the ending part.
So I'm shutting it
So you
down.
can sit here and feed it, actually, light might get in the way. So,
Yeah, I'll be in the
Hold on,
Okay, I
I'm
can
gonna
just
take the
sit
lens
there.
out.
yeah, it's okay, just,
Use
yeah.
my imagination.
So you stand there and say your line?
I have the 50 on, so if you can pass me actually the lens bag,
Yeah.
and I'll just put a cap on this for now. I don't want to leave the sensor exposed.
So that's your lens kit for the day? Or you have more lenses?
Actually, where's my lens cap? No, this is it. Just using those 3 lenses, the Zines, 24, 15, and 85. So you said
They're
you
all
want
primed.
50? Yeah.
It's okay,
they're
I
all
got
primed.
the 50. I have 50.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're too slow, man, too slow.
I can really do this one. I mean, yeah, the quality difference is not big there. So.
It's the same thing exactly.
All right. All right, here you
So I just
go.
need the reaction.
Thank you.
Oi!
Yeah. Careful. So what is it? Which one?
It's just the line which is looking up. Because this is when I want to do like this.
You want to fake it and like just let the paint just kind of more behind it? Like that?
Yeah, so you can move it, I guess.
Yeah.
You've been
Move this way. Yeah. Otherwise, it's like right at the edge there. Yeah, there.
Yeah, can you move it a bit more? Yeah. There's no lines in this.
Oh, no line.
Like I say, only one line shows. Yeah. So what I want to do is look down like we're looking down, and then look up. And she says yes, like into the camera kind of thing.
Oh, that's if she's talking to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
oh into the camera. Okay.
Look here, I do.
What scene is this?
Pass me my board. The storyboard. You pass me that. It's 16.
People are asking what film is this? I guess maybe later when you have a chance, Clint, we can.
Yes, I will after the shot.
And be like, you don't know? Oh my gosh. It's
Only the
female.
greatest film ever.
Oh my gosh, guys.
From all the Oscars.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Okay.
You want
The
me
only
to
thing is,
look
I don't
directly?
think I can do a post zoom in this, can I?
The guys are
I want to do,
shooting
like,
in
slides,
4.6K,
small, like, you know.
but I'm not sure what the final resolution
You
will
think I should
be.
go wider then?
I'll probably keep it in.
Can you just talk to me?
I'll put it at
Because
4K.
once he's talking, like,
So
this
the
scene,
other day,
you can hear voices in the head
I
saying
went out
some
to
stuff like, you know, like,
Okay.
and
you can't press it and all that stuff. Like, so that while that's happening, I want to like
Do you want to put that in the sticks here? I mean, the camera go?
It's a very small one. It's not a big. We don't need that distance. That's too much, I think.
No, I know that, but I mean, if it fits in here, then we can still put it.
Will it? No, what I was trying to do is more like the vertical effect. So I was going to do from.
Oh, the camera
Yeah.
twisting?
Yeah. So like the.
So I guess do it digitally. I mean.
Yeah, so I was going to do digitally
Okay.
because it makes more sense. So, but then I might have to go 24 then. Because this is where I would end basically. I would end over here.
I would still keep it because like otherwise on the 24 I don't think it's gonna look that nice. Like,
Then I should take this one back.
yeah, just move it slightly back. I wouldn't go that much wider. Just make a very subtle like a digital zoom. But you know what I mean, right? If you start out
Yeah,
wider
yeah.
on the 24, everything's gonna be so sharp and it's just gonna be like very flat looking. Whereas here, look at this. It still gives you room.
And then
You're
I
getting
can
some separation from the background.
and then I can then do the zoom.
Yeah. And you shoot in 4.6K, right?
Yeah.
You have enough there. Okay. Are you finishing 4K?
No, I'm not gonna finish.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this will be good, right? Okay, so I'll just follow the fan.
Just make sure nobody's like in between that light there or in between this light.
Okay, and start looking down. And then look up. Okay, look down again. Lean forward a bit. Okay, now look, go back and look up. No, maybe. Okay, go back to your spot, the normal spot, yeah.
Pull focus on this.
I don't think you need to if she's staying in the same spot. Eyes here. Okay, so look down.
Let me
And now
peek
look
in.
Slow. Go right slow, yeah. And look up. Pause, and then say your line.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all please bring it.
And what's the focal length?
50.
50. It's a 50, guys.
Just rocking.
Okay, I think we're fine.
And that's it. That's
So yes again.
No,
Yeah,
look,
just the,
this is the rocking and this is, yeah,
Yeah.
not
So
the
put it in
ZN.
that line. You see a large line?
The ZN you have here.
See a large line?
So, yeah, it's much bigger.
You know,
You're
just
right.
say it again.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Take it higher.
Yes.
Yeah, in the shot.
Yeah, you want me to keep saying it?
Yep.
Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
Maybe.
Pretend. Maybe. Yes.
The
She's
fridge.
warming up stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, tell me when you're ready.
Okay.
We're ready.
Oh.
That's actually how I say yes. I use microwave frequencies, so it's my skill. It's like on my resume or whatever.
Okay. So remember, you were looking in the mirror first. I mean, not mirror, the window, because you.
Oh, you want to do that whole scene? where
This
she's-
is the ending. Yeah.
Oh, okay, the whole dialogue. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay. Yeah.
You're doing more dialogue?
Am I just doing the last
It's
sentence?
only her.
Just the
she,
one-
she
just
talk.
the yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Everyone's ready. Sound.
Yeah. Sound speed.
Camera rolling. Oh.
Zoom 11.
Yeah.
Trust scene 16.
Higher.
Trust
Yeah.
scene 16. Take 1.
Okay. Boom's in shot. Okay, we're good now. And action.
You wanted to rebuild your trust with Tom. And in order to do that, you must separate past trust issues from future fears. Can you do that?
Yes.
Wait, was that the entire line? Your last line?
Yeah, I thought it was a short monologue.
I
That
thought it
was
was
the
longer.
last line, but do you want to
The entire
paragraph?
the whole
Okay.
paragraph. Yeah. Okay.
Is this going to be like a voiceover on her part or?
No. We got the previous takes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm going to use those now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And you didn't cut, right?
No.
Okay. And boom's in shot. Okay. And action.
You have to open up to me, Annie. Every relationship is built on a foundation of trust, including ours as doctor-patient. Without it, fear rules. You wanted to rebuild your trust with Tom, and in order to do that, you must separate past trust issues from future fears. Can you do that?
Yes.
So one more, but when you're looking down, try to not fixate in one spot only, like
You want me to keep it? Okay.
just a bit, not too much. Don't know what exactly. And action. Right, boom's in shot. Slightly up. Okay, good. Action.
You have to open up to me, Annie. Every relationship is built on a foundation of trust, including ours as doctor-patient. Without it, fear rules. You wanted to rebuild your relationship with Tom, and your trust with Tom. In order to do that, you must separate past trust issues from future fears. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
that's good.
good.
That's fine.
As
As
long
long
as
as
I got you.
Yeah, no, I need to get her. Shit, we moved lights though, right? I want to get one of her clothes. Because remember, I got her clothes.
From this angle, kind of thing?
Like how I did over there, the clothes.
Oh, okay.
I just need some sort of like from here.
Okay.
And then that's it.
So we can stay on that camera. I guess you switch the lens.
Okay, I'll switch the lens. And then.
Well, this light then we don't need because that was just. for
Yeah, so
the thing.
that can smooth some stuff out of here.
See? So
Uh,
let's
now,
reset the,
last one
the
is,
chairs and then the table
14.
how it was.
14-1.
14.
Yeah.
So I think we'll get one more shot here into scene and then And we'll be able to answer some of your questions if you have any questions. The cold temperature was it 4200 you have, Kelvin? 4600 Kelvin.
Okay. 10 to 10, 4600.
And you're finishing you're shooting 4.6K, right? You're finishing in 4K?
No, I might. Well, it depends. When I cut it, I'll see if because I have some post zoom. I'm doing a vertigo effect, so I might end up using that. So it might be 1080.
One downside
Yeah.
is battery life on the machine sucks. Still waiting for my battery to come in the mail.
All right, let's move all this out of the way.
So 85, right?
Yeah, I had 85 on that one.
Okay.
You have 85?
This one? Yeah, I have an 85Z. So.
That's the longest lens you Tom have today? 85?
Yeah, for this kind
You usually never need more than 85.
I mean, like if you're doing some like kind of
Some,
Bruckheimer kind of stuff.
But
More dramatic
for the
stuff.
most part, 24 to 85 will cover your focal length, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 14 if you want to go really wide. But Rokinon has the entire prime kit, right? From all the way from 14 till 85.
Yeah.
So you get that, you're covered.
So Kevin, we are shooting in Mississauga.
Oh yeah.
So almost in Toronto.
I'm sure he knows from the saga. Come on, it's like the second Hollywood, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mississauga wood.
Mississauga would. Yeah. Mississauga's got their own Oscar awards, you know.
Sorry, coming through.
Alright, Daddy child.
Now, after this is the last scene.
Clint, is that the framing you want?
We can bring the camera in a bit more, and then yeah, that should be it.
Oh yeah, no.
But it seems underexposed.
Yeah, I'm gonna right now double check the.
Okay, let me know with this exposure. Yeah?
More. A little bit more, I would think. There. Yeah.
And this?
Is that light? Can you spark that light on? No, that you ain't gonna see the table actually. That is very
Oh,
right.
yeah, okay.
May I just get the masz? That's what I want. Make sure it's
Yeah.
gonna be her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what, do you just remember what the number the face should be and so on in terms of the exposure? That's how you do
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I just remember like the skin tones are the most important because the skin tones have to match. So I know that the bright side of the face is supposed to be 43. This is 22. So right now it's a little bit too dark, too bright, because this side even is going into 43.
Doesn't matter what's the setting and so on. That's you always want the skin
Well,
to be that color, that
Yeah,
number.
well, I want it. No, I'm saying sometimes I want it to be overexposed, underexposed. Right now I'm actually underexposing the skin.
Oh,
Like
why?
a darker key, like a low key lighting kind of scene. But I'm matching it to the first shot, the white shot.
Doing good,
Mhm.
just wait for next one now, the second half.
Can you, Vlad? Can you pass me the diffusion that was on the other light? It's behind you guys.
Yeah.
Called false color.
It's called predator mode.
What?
Predator vision, that's what I see.
No, hang it out. Yeah, strip it off.
We are not shooting in RAW. We're shooting in ProRes, right? Yeah.
So much more exciting having a live stream of this being done right now. I'm like, what is going on? I'm moving.
Oh, you can take that clamp off. It's behind the bush.
I'm like, what is that?
Yeah,
it was
it's
just
called
talking
false
about the
colors.
trees a little bit more.
I thought that's what I said, but maybe not.
Oh, there it goes.
Still go down. Okay.
The false color feature doesn't help you at all with colors, right?
No.
It's just
You definitely don't want to test colors based on false color.
yeah.
You're gonna get some weird looking shots.
So
Like,
the only way,
why are
like,
my actors looking orange?
so before using that app, now that you showed for measuring color, like how would you do? What are other options? How did you do it before?
I mean, you kind of just then figure out whether you're doing like back in the day when you're shooting mainly you either had tungsten balanced film or daylight balanced film. So you would
Two options. Right?
yeah,
That's
you
it.
pretty much think so.
You kept
You
it
would
simple, right?
you kind of would be like, okay, majority of my light here is daylight. I'm using daylight balanced light, so you just go with basically what's like a daylight,
Right.
equivalent, and then you kind of fine tune it. But now we're in a digital world, and
To be exact, right?
we can
Because
be
that's
exact.
less work in post, right?
Yeah, and also just you're not degrading the image thing. Although if you're shooting in RAW, then it doesn't matter because you can change it. But today, since we're not shooting in RAW, it's helpful. Let's check the exposure here.
You're running that pizza, yow.
Yeah, we are not shooting raw. It's ProRes. So here, what is it? In terms of the monitor, so Tom has an icon, right? The monitor, and Clint has the small HD. Do you like it? Yeah, I know. Nicer one.
I like the icon too.
Yeah.
It's pretty, this is the 700 nits one.
1200. These are good for. They're 8. No, that's
Can
5.
we,
That's 5. Never mind.
can we cheat a bit? Can you move her chair a tiny bit forward, like half a foot? Yeah.
Alright, please, can you step up? Please, and you will sit right.
There, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
try that.
Alright, take a seat. You only have 10%.
Louis, can you pull your hair back behind here?
Yep.
I'm sorry, she's so difficult. It's unbelievable.
Next,
What?
No, it's okay.
It's diamond?
Yeah, okay, now I'm getting the right exposure.
Remember actually, angle I had? I think it was a bit more profile.
Actually, I still don't know what the title. What's the title of this?
It's called Trust.
Trust. Oh, okay.
All
Is
compared.
I allowed to say
It's
that?
on the slate.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Ah,
Oh, it's right there. Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Trust is gonna be great. That was terrible. I'm sorry. Give me some time. I'll make something funny or something. Probably not. No. That's all I got right now.
If you wanted to match to the other, right?
How many people heard that terrible joke? How many people are watching it?
Just,
Like a lot?
just 2,000.
Oh, okay. All right. No worries. Oh.
This one?
That's true. I usually do offensive ones, so this was like, really easy. Kids can watch it. It's fine.
No, so this is almost the same. Yeah. I mean, if you want, I can move it slightly more to the side. Like a little bit more.
Yeah, I think I looked at this.
No, the 300D right now we have it at 10%. So it's, I believe that's what it was before. So it's quite powerful, but yeah.
Why didn't you?
What? Oh, shit. Sorry. I didn't know what you were implying.
So I was like, did the script
Still
change?
10%.
Oh shit, what?
That was very believable. Yeah, hang on. I don't know. Oh.
Bit more. This is it? Yeah. Okay, fine.
Oh, I'm not crazy. That's why. I'm not crazy.
Are you ready?
I'm so sorry.
So is this okay?
Yeah, the slider was quite convenient because we have the sofa and we have to go above it. We cannot. The L here was kind of in the way, so we're able to just put the dolly or the slider above this section of the sofa.
Ready?
Yes, I'm not.
Right,
But you know, I'm getting a weird reflection. The glasses.
Slider. It's the camera gear, camera goat slider made in the USA.
Why didn't you throw your coffee in her face?
I guess it's here. Let me show you
Working on
guys.
your breathing? In your count back?
No.
Yeah, it's a nice slider.
Counting backwards from 10 to 1. This is
What's going on? This is done.
I'm
Yeah, I do it now. So then you can help me out.
How are things at home?
What about Tom?
You and your husband first started coming here, there were serious issues that needed to be addressed. Self-worth, trust, infidelity.
Tom's infidelity.
Yeah, so now the reflection's gone. So.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm good, yeah.
Let's start with self-worth. How do you feel about yourself?
Well, when your husband has an affair with a swim trainer and a CrossFit trainer, you tend to have an issue with that.
Why does her being a model or a fitness trainer,
CrossFit trainer.
CrossFit trainer, make such a difference to you? How does it affect
We are not talking about this today.
Is it on? You have a signal?
Oh no, I need
You have to open up.
the V-mount connection or the V-mount.
Oh, you need the V-mount battery? Oh,
Yeah.
I think almost dead.
Or the V-mount, you know, the cable.
Actually, wait, can I connect it to this?
That's right.
Yeah,
We
you
get
plug
the
in,
succeed or succeed.
Sexy?
Succeed.
We're not doing it
Sexy.
as far as I know.
Tripod.
Sexy type, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice
I'm
tripod.
gonna power it up, fine.
That's the head. And it's got a little light here,
It's not working, you forget it then.
No, it is.
Yeah?
so you can see whether you are leveled.
Oh, we're just on.
Succeed, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Please, can you please stop touching your hair? You just pull it over. She will murder you in your sleep.
It's right here.
Every time I look at you, you're touching the other side, and when
I
you
know, because it keeps going like this, and I'm thinking, is it gonna shadow my eye?
yeah, it just when
In
you
terms
do
of
that,
the
it
director
pushes it from
directing,
it pushes it on
we've
the
done,
other
you know,
So,
again, we've
okay,
been doing this scene for a while,
Okay,
and
there, it's
so the guys
it's on.
have,
Yeah?
So the
have
wireless.
already
No? Okay.
Okay.
You getting
done
it?
a
No, it
rehearsal
works.
and gone
Yeah.
through the cinematography, so that's why maybe the director
Did you
doesn't
power
get us
on the
involved.
receiver?
Yeah, it's on plug, you put on.
So now you can
Oh,
see,
yeah,
look.
okay, okay.
Sorry? Oh,
The wireless
I
monitor.
always think
Right.
what I think I look like.
You see how it
Sorry.
works.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm good here. You're good?
Okay,
Just
yeah.
if you can, with the mic, be careful because like this thing is
Yeah.
very soft light, but we can see
Actually,
when you're.
what'll do?
Where's my...
Let's spray. Am I gonna be good?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good for framing.
Alright,
You good, Clint?
alright, Paula, quiet at the back. Vlad, if you want to eat, go downstairs and eat. Just be, give plastic cutlery, that way it doesn't make noise.
There's forks.
Yeah, take the
I think
plastic
this
one.
is the one they shoot, so no, like, you know,
Yeah.
no
And then use
dailies.
the plastic fork, yeah? Okay, and let's wait for him to get down.
Alright.
Sound,
Sound speed.
camera.
Camera, A rolling.
Scene 14.
Wait,
take.
hold on.
Can
Zoom
you
12.
hold the
Is it better?
lower?
Lower? Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, slate.
Scene 14, take 1.
Action.
She's lucky I didn't throw my coffee right in her face.
And why didn't you?
Excuse me?
Why didn't you throw your coffee in her face?
Well, I'm not crazy.
Are you practicing your breathing
Yeah.
and your count backs?
No. That answers the point.
Counting backwards from 10 to 1 is a device that allows you to disconnect from your triggers. I'm here to give you the tools. It's up to you to use them. How are things with Tom?
What about Tom?
When you and your husband first came here, there were serious issues that needed to be addressed. Self-worth, trust, infidelity.
Tom's infidelity.
Okay. Tom's infidelity. Let's start with self-worth. How do you feel about yourself?
Well, when your husband has an affair with a swimsuit model and a CrossFit trainer, you tend to have a few issues with that.
Why does her being a model or a fitness trainer,
CrossFit trainer,
make such a difference to you? How did they affect?
We're not talking about this today.
You have to open up to me, Annie. Every relationship is built on a foundation of trust, including ours as doctor-patient. Without it, fear rules. You wanted to rebuild your trust with Tom, and in order to do that, you must separate past trust issues from future fears. Can you do that?
Yes.
Alright, cut.
Cutting?
Okay, I think that's good. It's,
So is that a wrap?
yeah, it's a wrap for the scene.
We're done!
And a wrap for
Go home!
Louise!
Let's go home.
It's a wrap for Louise!
It's like, oh wait, we still have the rest of the film.
So this shot was just one camera,
Breaking for lunch?
but in the scene, yeah, we had some shots, we had more than one. We had two cameras, or sometimes we had one camera, depending.
I think it's
Number
good.
one tip, when you break for lunch, be the first one to go get catering, because after that, it's just all the good stuff is gone. So,
Alright,
where's the catering?
No worries.
Paulo, where's the food? It's all
coming.
here? Alright.
Okay, put on any.
Yeah, we're gonna take it
Because we have to move everything now from here.
You can put downstairs or what?
Yeah.
We have to move everything from there to there.
Yeah.
Once you're done, we'll move some stuff. Because we have to shoot here later,
You
right?
take
Oh,
this
okay,
down?
okay.
Huh? Take it back downstairs?
Yeah, I set up.
Clint, do you want to tell us a little bit about the project?
Alright, walk with me.
Okay.
It's like the actor's life,
walk with
remember? So, it's about a mentally...
Let me just look at my feet now, because we're walking down the stairs.
Oh.
Yeah, watch your.
So it's a movie that follows this woman, Annie, who has a lot of issues, trust issues, self-worth issues. So we're trying to show the mental state of this woman and
Can you just go from the other side?
and
The
how
lighting
she's
will be
trying to
better.
deal with a relationship with her cheating husband. And it's a very psychological thriller, and it has an ending you won't see coming. That's all I can say.
It's a short film, right?
Yeah, it's short.
How many minutes is that?
I would say I estimate this to be around 10 minutes or so.
10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, it's a sweet amount. 10 minutes is a good number.
For festivals, I guess it's good, right?
Yeah.
Like, the idea is to
They
get
love
it out to festivals, right?
Yeah. This one I think is going to be the best we've done. Like Tom and I have done Actors Life. Actors Life was like taking all the festivals by storm. We won so many awards there.
Yeah.
Been to how many festivals already with it?
Like this year itself was back to back every month. Berlin, Madrid, Sydney, Canada's next month.
You guys won a few awards.
Yeah, we won more than a few. So LA, Vegas. And now we're hoping with Trust it's going to be bigger, better, and hopefully even more awards this time.
Yeah. Cool.
Gotta
cool.
keep on
So
working.
it's a one-day shoot, though, right? Or tomorrow we're going to shoot a
No.
little bit?
I try to condense everything in one day. So far, we are just an hour behind schedule. I hope to make it up soon. And
Alright, no lunch.
no, we should be okay. We've managed. We've been behind sets. So we've always made up time. So,
Helps that we're shooting the one location, right? We don't have to-
yeah, it helps. And then since I have the Ursa as well, we can get coverage from two angles, so we can cut down on time that way and save some time that way. So that's a good thing. And yeah, we have pretty much have the same kit, Rokinons, Ursas, almost the same gear, so it'll be easy to max shots.
Yeah, have you much the same settings?
Yeah, then it's easy. So that's what we'll do. I'll try to see how we can save some time in the next few shots. I'll try to get two angles and get it done with soon.
So, question here: do you recommend buying the 4.6 Pro version or just the regular one?
Well, the Pro one, the nice thing I liked about it when I saw it at NAB was the built-in ND filters.
I would say that's the biggest.
That's the biggest thing.
advantage, because
But the one thing
buttons,
I didn't like was the monitor size. That 4-inch was a bit too small. Like I prefer the
Yeah.
5.1. It's a perfect size. The 4 felt too small to see any details. You would actually need an external monitor. At least that's my opinion. What about you, Tom?
No, I agree. I mean, for me, even the 4.6K, it's like it's just big enough.
Yeah.
But if I can afford to have, like right now I have a bigger monitor, I prefer to have that. But with the Ursa Pro, the monitor is like
Yeah, it's
tiny.
too small. That's the thing.
It's just okay for navigating and seeing everything's okay.
But you would
otherwise-
definitely need an external monitor for that. Yeah.
And the Pro does it have the IR filter or no?
It has,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
It has
that's,
built-in NDs and IR.
because of the ND
so that's
filters
the-
built in, you don't have to worry about the IR
Any
pollution.
color shifting or nothing.
But now Tiffin has like a screw-on for your lens and IR cut filter, so it's easy to screw it on and then put whatever you want and put on like a matte box, ND filters. It's easy. That's what I use right now. All right, lunch.
Somebody's asking for a shot list, but yeah, there's no time, don't worry. But,
Yeah, let's get out.
okay, cool. Tom, any words of wisdom?
You can sit
And then
down
we'll,
here. You can talk.
my battery soon will die out
will
anyway,
die out?
so I think you have like a few minutes.
Okay, so what's the questions?
I don't think. There are too many questions.
Too many questions.
Guys, if you have any questions, let us know, because otherwise we're going to sign off
No, I
soon.
mean, if anything, also leave later when the video is posted. Leave your comments on the actual posted video, and later on today when we're done filming, I'm gonna answer I think as many as I can the questions. But I mean, I would just say take on as many projects as you can, especially like people say, ask me like at the beginning how to get into this and get better, like from a technical point of view, like better as a filmmaker, how to get into the industry and all that stuff. I would say just shoot as many projects as you can. Like don't ever look at a project that's below you. So that's kind of in a way how I got to know Clint, because he contacted me through my website, and I think. Yeah?
Sausages if you want them.
Oh, okay. When you contacted me the first time, you had done only like one film, right?
I didn't really do anything.
Oh, okay.
Because,
You had one short,
yes, no,
yeah.
I did have
Yeah,
one short. That's
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
And I showed you like
This is vegetarian.
what I did.
So he was as
This is
new.
sweet and it's a little spicy here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right, so
spicy.
yeah, guys
No,
are
but-
saying to let you enjoy the. Okay, you want to say
No,
something?
yeah. So I'm saying so. You see, Clint contacted me. He just literally was starting out. He's a talented guy, but had no experience. But what I saw through was the script. He sent me a script that he wanted to shoot, and I was like, "That's a pretty damn good script." So,
And he also puts together the production, right? Like some people just
well, yeah,
feel that he knows how to get stuff.
yeah, he gets stuff
And Paula
down. He
too,
knows
right?
where to get the actors, all that stuff. Even though he had no experience.
There's more, there's more.
So I was right away, like he asked me, he helped me out on that project. Basically very limited budget. So I said, right, I'll come on for free. I'll help you out. And it's because I'll tell you, a lot of filmmakers, even when they're working in the industry, they're making money. A lot of times you take on projects and maybe you do it for financial reasons, but you don't not necessarily enjoy as much. So when an opportunity like this one came along, where it's just seems like full guy, full script, you don't really care about money at that point. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I would say that's very important to do at the beginning. Is before you worry about the money, you want to worry about making sure you have enough projects, under your belt. Because with each project you get more experience. Also, you meet more people. So then, I didn't know that Clint was. I was hoping, but you never know that the filmmaker you work with, like Clint, that he's gonna end up doing more films. He's gonna win awards and all that stuff. But
You're a big
that's
deal,
kind of
Clint. Look at that.
that's how that's how you make connections in the industry, right?
And then starting small like that helps because now I'm getting on paying gigs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm shooting a feature in next
And you
month.
started just what was it, like 2 years ago, right? When we
Yeah,
started?
just 2 years, yeah. But see, the key is consistency. Just keep pushing out movies, like just keep pumping up stories after stories. I try to do something that's within your budget, like so. Have a story with things accessible to you. So if you have a house, if you have a car, so do things like you have already, so it's easy to shoot.
Yeah, whatever you have access
Yeah,
to.
and then write a story around with what you have access to. Then it's easier. And then once you get bigger, better, and you improve, then you can, your budget will improve, and hopefully you get producers and stuff like that. So
Right, but the key is just keep working.
keep working, and script, story is king. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Story is always king.
Develop scripts. But even if, let's say, you want to work just as a cinematographer, like I said, don't look at a project like many people might want to look like Clint, when he first contacted me and be like, oh, this guy hasn't done anything or whatever. I'm more experienced, I'm not going to work with him. No, like give other people a chance. If you think, there might be something good. Worst that's going to happen is, especially if it's a short film, is okay, you wasted 2 or 3 days of your life and you're not going to work again with that person. But just take on as many projects as you can. Music videos are a great way to get a lot of experience as a cinematographer, especially. Just shoot a lot of stuff, take on a lot of projects, and you're gonna get better. You're gonna meet more people. You're gonna have more fun, and
Oh, and one advice Tom gave me, because besides directing, I DP as well. And I had a horrible experience on set once, but I was about to give up because of that. But Tom said, make sure before you pick any job, make sure they have a shot list, make sure they have a script ready, make sure they have all that ready. Then
Yeah.
you know you're serious. This guy I went to didn't have nothing ready. I went on set, there was no shot list. He didn't even scout the location.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was horrible. It was like I was trying to fix it up, but
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Because
yeah.
when you
We
also
get, I think we have to sign off because
yeah.
the
Okay,
bar
so
is
we're gonna
dying.
sign off, but yeah, this when you see a new filmmaker that takes time to prepare, you know he's serious. Otherwise, yeah.
yeah.
But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna try to do more of these live streaming from the set, and that's it for
Just
now.
post your questions and
Yeah.
we'll get back to you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good Sunday.
Nice guys.
Man, that's spicy.